Be wise and fearless. Don't be wicked and careless. No fast and them fruitful when them fearless. No fat shot about them kind when them cheerless. Them love the crack bone and tear flesh. Politicians left the youth them in a beer rest. They're not helping the people who face their stress. Them still telling lies about them trying their best.
Welcome YouTube. It's your host A-Maverick. You tune in to I'm Spiritual, where over here make you see through spiritual lenses. No, you would have heard it, you would have seen it, and for some people they might have experienced a situation like this. What I'm here to talk about today. Yes, you see the thumbnail, you see the title. Today we have a controversial topic between popular promoter Romeich and TikToker TJ Thug Life. Speaking of Thug Life, is TJ about the Thug Life? Is Romeich in major problem? Stay tuned. We're gonna find out what is happening. Okay. So let us first answer the topic on TJ, okay? Because upon researching and analyzing the whole situation, the first thing stood out with this man was his name, Thug Life. But is he about the Thug Life? Is he? I think he also need to ask himself, because the answer is, let's just say he's not. And this is not me encouraging violence or being a battery in his back, but you have a scripture that we Jamaicans love quote. We might not quote it exactly as how it is in the Bible, but nonetheless, it's the same context. It goes like this. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Now, you might have wondered why I quote that, right? Because we over here make you see through spiritual lenses, so we're tackling it on a spiritual angle. So you would have seen him come out and the whole scenario, how it is playing out now, right? And this whole scenario just show that men have become passive, emotional, and weak. These are two grown men, you know. Why I said this? This is a situation where one man don't know when to be on the defense, and the other don't know when to be on the offense. That is what's going on. So the least little thing, one of the other gonna seem like a victim and a bully. That's how it's gonna work. Because why? Truly, you know, within a bully and the victim, he's not really a bully, you know. It's just that one don't know when to be on the defense and become passive. No, that's weakness. No, why I say it's weakness. As a man, you would have called to be a leader and a protector, especially when you have a woman, child, or children. Or just overall, you have people under you. You have to show that level of power. So this is why I said TJ is not about that Thug Life. And from now on, he should just stick to the two initials, T and J, and remove the Thug Life from his name. Okay? Don't know what the TJ really means, but you just need to stick to those two initials. Yeah. Because what I see is woman, our wife, our common law wife, Maya, was more masculine than he is, then, in other words. Why? Because he would have experienced the aftermath after the whole scenario where he saw his wife, or as they would label it, common law wife, Maya, crying on several occasions. And all you could ask, what's happening? Do you feel pain? Listen me, TJ, when you see a woman crying like that, it goes deeper than you think. It's really hurting. Also, what could flash across her mind is how you're handling the situation. No, this is not me saying I'm also bad, I'm also defensive, because any man can get beat up. But it's how, why, when, where, and how you react or retaliate to the whole scenario, then, in other words. So, TJ, you didn't need a Mayan calendar to tell you what time it is. You're a man, your main duty is to provide, protect, and lead. And for the most part, out of those three main duty that I list, pretty much you're lacking two. You're not leading, you're not protecting really. Because for the most part, it is said to be that Maya is the one that actually stating that she won't forgive Romeich for what he did. Secondly, Maya is the one that heavily pushing the pressing of charges. Now, this look bad on your part, TJ. I'm not saying you should have fight off the 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 man that can you. You're not a Hercules, you're not a Samson, you're not a Superman. But it's the way you come on the media talking afterwards, but you don't know what to feel about the whole situation. You don't know whether or not to accept the apology. Listen, that apology should not be accepted, period. And when I start speak on Romeich angle, I'm gonna break it down. It should not be accepted. Cool? So the time during the beating, where did I get? Pretty much. You're asking, what me do? TJ, you don't have to do much. As your name alone attracts that energy, tug life. Your name alone attract that energy, tug life. You kidding me? Are you crazy? A man that is about tug life don't stand up asking what me do. And meanwhile he asking, he's getting punched in the face, pretty much. That's weakness. That's too much passive feminine energy, brother. The first lick, beat up, or whatsoever you get, you should have already walk away, go about your business, let the situation cool off, then they handle it accordingly. That's how you do it. But to go back in front of a man, boop in your mouth, boop in your face, and you stand up there and it take a suck your mother to actually make the thing even more escalated. Let me tell you this. I titled this Ego Repair Backfired because obviously you were trying to repair an ego when you add the name Tug Life to TJ. But for the most part, it has backfired. Trust me, it has backfired. And I don't know how you're gonna handle this or come back from this, but you already look weak and soft in the eyes of the public. And all I can say, I wish the best and hope the best for you both. And hope that this doesn't come between your marriage, because that is where it's gonna end up whether you like it or not. It's gonna cause some friction within the union between you and Maya. Just watch me. No, let us deal with Romeich himself. No, Romeich. People see this as a, what I would say, a backstage encounter with a TikToker or a TikTok influencer and a slash promoter, businessman, producer, whatsoever title you want to go by. They see it as that. But it's way more deeper than you think. Why? This is also an ego repair backfired for Romeich. What ego I'm talking about? Well, Romeich's reputation has been tarnished, especially from the past month and odd. Would it be from Chris Gale, Tifa, Footer Hype, and the overall public? We all would have seen the situation played over. But what topped it off is the Footer Hype situation. To be honest, I believe it's Footer Hype caused this beating. How Footer Hype caused it? Because Footer Hype was the main one actually coming out real strong against Romeich, to the point where Romeich actually break down and cry online while he was doing his live. So that now seemed a bit soft and weak to Romeich, right? So now he need a ego repair. That's what he needed. He need an ego repair. So he's been carrying around now this chip on his shoulder because he couldn't size up with Footer Hype, I guess, but he's carrying around the chip on his shoulder. So guess what? Anyone that come against him the slightest way and he feel like he has the power over them, they're gonna get it. And this is why TJ was asking, what me do? What me do? And he couldn't give a response. The thing is, TJ, you would have attracted with your name Tug Life. So who better to try flex his power on than a man that call himself Tug Life? That is clearly not about, and this is the issue, this is what I'm telling you. Most men nowadays just love the limelight and like the title or the names of some things that doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense when you come to think of it, because The way how Romeich find himself to actually prove himself on a man that named Thug Life, it's ridiculous to me. However, let's just say the ego was backfired. It didn't come out as he expected. It's now affecting him, leading him to apologize. It didn't go as he expected. He think the public would have his back and boots him. He's now a done bad man. Romeich beat up a boy, right? Because other artists would have done it and him see the props that them get. So guess what? He feel like he could do the same thing. A wise man would have said it's all about culture and mindset. Another wise man would say spiritual immaturity and everything is a maths problem, right? This ego backfired now, leading him to apologize. Hence, the sincerity of the apology questionable. He made a false apology. Firstly, let us tackle that apology. Ramesh, when apologizing, you should not include excuses for it to be effective, i.e., the buts that you keep on adding during your apology and I'm a human doesn't make sense. That takes a lot from the apology. That just say, may apologize, but me not sorry. That's what it is saying. So when you say I'm a human, I guess TJ and Moyan wasn't human or weren't human, right? I guess so. So this is what I'm gonna say because many influencers and persons would have already speak on this and give great analysis or what I would say analytical views on the matter. And for the most part, you can't blame the public. The only sad part is it serious than you think. It is serious than you think. Speaking of serious, it is now said that Romeich under investigation. The whole scenario is under investigation by Indicom because Indicom now probing the matter as an alleged officer off or on duty is or was the main perpetrator. So Indicom now has now been involved. And it's funny. So how this will all end? Let's say pride, pun intended, comes before a fall. I repeat, let's say pride comes before a fall, pun intended. Anyone remember? Anyone remember the scenario with Derek and Romeich? So when I say pride, I'm not just only referring to Romeich pride, but I'm referring to the member of the pride community that he put in hotel to stay and basically coming out and bash the public. He didn't saw this coming, right? He didn't saw this coming, right? But this is how the supreme being work. When you're too prideful and believe that you can come insult the intelligence or morals of the public, regardless how the public operating in a Romeich. You have to understand this. God is still with this land, and this is why the land is not destroyed. As soon as God is not with this land, you best believe things gonna become tragic. And guess what? I believe it. This was towing the line. You were towing the line and didn't expect to get this backlash that you're getting. So now it makes you feel real down to the point where it will have a big dent in your career. Because what happened is that even the public urging sponsors to separate ways with you. And once that start take place, it all goes. So guess what? How this gonna be resolved? I don't think it will that easy. And I believe Ramesh know this. Hence why now it is said upon recording that he left the island. I think they are giving what we call, or he is giving the, the island a quote unquote break. But even when he gives this break and return, it's not gonna be like it once was. This Ramesh, highly reputable promoter, businessman, producer. It's not gonna be like that anymore. And it's so sad, but it was coming. So with that, I yield, and I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm spiritual. Be spiritual. Stay tuned for more. Like, share, and subscribe.